Michelle. Thank you for allowing me today to have an interview with you. So can we start now?
Yes,
Okay, my first question is, how do you help yourself to achieve learning goals?
I help myself to achieve learning goals by browsing books, reading notes, articles, and watching videos or news like that to help me to get the information that I need and to help me to apply those learnings in reality.
Thank you for that answer. My second question is, what do you think is the purpose of assessment?
The purpose of assessment is to exactly measure what I have learned, what I need to learn, and what are the things that I should or I don't have.
Okay. My last question for you now is, how class activities help you?
Class activities help me because it reminds the things that are tackled in the past days. It helped me to apply especially practical by myself and discovering what are the mistakes, and it opens for improvement like that.
Mary Michelle, my next question is, how does the environment affect the student learning?
Environment affects me when I'm learning. Like for example, if I'm busy doing my activities or homeworks, when there is some noise from my neighborhood, from my fellow people inside the home, that makes me hard to study and focus on my learning.
Okay. My next question for you is, when we discuss about teaching method, for you, what kind of teaching would you prefer your teacher to do?
For me, physical learning, or we all know it, face-to-face learning like before. Syempre, it is favorable for me because I saw my prof, I saw my classmates, and we're together doing the activity like groupings, yeah, like that. And physical learning is very easy for me because I can talk my prof whenever I want, whenever I have concerns, I have problems regarding with their subject and everything.
So you're happy and you enjoy when you do physical activities. Yes, Miss Mary Michelle.
Yes, I'm happy because I have lots of friends, we're getting to know each other, and sometimes if there's vacant time, we're bond and like that.
Okay. Last question. For your own opinion, how do you think we should use instructional materials and technology effectively?
I'm sorry.
For your own opinion, how do you think we should use instructional materials and technology effectively?
Siyempre, we should use it responsibly with discipline. Like, example, when we are taking exams, we need to use the cell phones or any gadgets we have wisely and very nice. Because, like for example, you are taking exams and then you're in the Google Meet sometimes or in Zooms or any kind of platforms. Then at the same time, you are browsing Google Translate like that, or you're trying to cheat. So it's bad. Then the technology, we need to use it properly, like um, when we are having uh, schedule or full time to studies, we need to control our time playing online games like that, because our health can affect that if we use technology too much.
So in that way, we should be responsible for
Yes, that
using instructional materials, especially technologies,
Yes.
for the students to be able to learn more and better from the teachers or professors.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Mary Michelle. Have a
Thank you.
nice day.
2,000 years later.
I have 6 questions for you, Miss Mika. First question: as a full-fledged teacher for you, what are the teaching and learning environments?
Okay, first, before we explain what is teaching and learning environment, first we have to consider what is teaching. So, teaching is the ability of a person to deliver a lesson well to his or her students. When we say learning environment, it has something to do with the setting when was the learning is happening. So, if we put this together, teaching and learning environment has something to do with the teacher um, giving lessons to his or her students in a conducive environment that allows students to learn and engage in a learning processes. So this learning environment should be participative, should engage active learning, cooperation, creativity, and collaboration within the students.
Okay. Next question: what is your method of teaching in this pandemic?
Okay, as a public school teacher, today I am actually handling two kinds of learning modalities in this time of pandemic. First, I am handling the modular distance learning, wherein the students have given different modules wherein they will going to answer to an individualized or self-learning materials. Next, I am also handling the online distance learning wherein we have synchronous and asynchronous sessions. So, as a teacher in this ODL, so I am using different methods. First of all is the collaboration or collaborative work wherein the students answer different activities in group um, participation. Next is the game-based activity. I am also using different kinds of gaming applications wherein the students engage in our learning processes. So these applications includes Kahoot, um, um, WordWall, ClassPoint, so those kinds of teaching methods. So aside from that, I'm also having a debate in our Google Classroom, or rather in our Google Meet. No, we also have this kind of teaching, this kind of activity wherein the students give different opinions on a certain topic. So they posted their answers using Google Jamboard, if you know that.
For next question, materials you use in teaching and technology in this pandemic.
Okay, just like what I've said earlier, as a teacher under modular distance learning, we are using modules, worksheets, wherein the students will answer them individually. Okay, so the teachers will give actually resources just like books, no modules, wherein they will going to use as a reference to answer these activities. Under online distance learning modality, just like what I've said also earlier, we are using different gamification or game-based application just like Kahoot, Jamboard, and etc. We also using the what we call the learning management system, just like Google Classroom, wherein the teachers are posting different learning activities and learning resources online. We are also using a Google Meet, as a synchronous session, and while we are also using different Google for Education, just like Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Sheets, and Google Forms for our students. And also, we are also using the PowerPoint presentation in presenting our slides. And we also using Canva, to edit different PowerPoint presentations and other editing purposes. That's all.
Next question, how was learning achieved?
Okay. In comparison to the face-to-face learning, we are using curriculum guide as a guide or reference for teachers to achieve different learning competencies. But in this time of pandemic, teachers are using MELC or most essential learning competencies in a week. So meaning therefore there are different or specific learning competencies that should be achieved in a week. So it includes specific topics that is essential in this time of pandemic. So not all the topics presented in the curriculum guide is included to be teach in our students. So with the MELC, we achieve this learning competency so that students can acquire skills that match to the K-12 program.
Last two questions. How do you prepare for your class activities?
Okay, first of all, I would like to know the background or the learning styles of my students. So I have to identify if these students are audiovisual learners or if these learners are fast learners or slow learners. Second one, I would like also to consider the availability of the resources that my students has or have. Then I would like also to see or identify what are the learning resources that I do have. Next, after that, so I create a lesson plan because as a teacher's lesson plan is the backbone of our teaching profession. So you have to prepare lesson plans that match these learning styles, these learning resources that match these learning activities so that the students will be engaged in your lesson. So that's all.
Last question. In this pandemic, what are the contributions of technology in your daily lives?
Okay, first of all, technology is a very big help for all of us teachers because we know that when this pandemic happened, distance learning has been conducted in every parts of the world. No, so we have different learning modalities, especially online distance learning modality and modular distance learning modality under the BELCP that we have in the DepEd. So with this technology, we can create a better communication with our parents and students. No, we maximize the power of technology. And also, with the use of technology for the second one, we provide different learning applications that also maximizes the power of technology to enhance the learning environments that we have for our students. So with this technology, we allow students to be resourceful, no? And also we'd like to see if this technology could help them to improve their learning. Then lastly, technology also help us teachers to deliver our lesson well because through the use of different applications, through the use of different information that is made available in our internet, we can have a better access with this and can freely give to our students without any payments. And also, to end my answer, we should always remember this quotation that technology can never replace teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers can be transformational.
Thank you, Miss Mika, for answering my questions.